Hi Aquarius, this is Kajora Lovely with your general reading for the month of March 2019. I also did a general reading for the month of March for all signs that you can check out, where I talk about some of the astrology going on this month, also the moon phases, the spring equinox, and pulled some tarot cards to get a general sense of the theme of what's going on for everyone as a whole. You can check that out. The link is in the description box below. Also, I'm a tarot card reader and a Reiki healer. I live in the LA area, and if you're ever interested in an in-person or a distance reading or healing session, you can email me. My contact info is also in the description box below. So let's get started on your general reading for the month of March 2019. For those of you who are curious, I'm reading with the Radiant Rider-Waite deck. That's what you can hear shuffling. Okay. Okay, so looks like an interesting month. So where you are now, 8 of Swords. So often I see this as being imprisoned by your thoughts. This can be in, feel like you're in a limited mindset, a limiting mindset, that there's something that is keeping you bound, maybe that you're not fully seeing. That you're not fully recognizing, and it also could be because you've got anxiety. So there's a lot going on with you this month. I wonder why that is. So we're starting the month in Pisces season, which can be very emotional. So that could be part of it, but it's also a water sign. You guys are air. These are air. The swords are air. So it's all about being a little bit in your head. Or I should say with those two, it's a lot in your head. It's not a little bit. But in the near future, you've got the 4 of Swords. So I would say this is that you need to take a little rest. Little resty breaky. You need to take some time to yourself, retreat from the world a little bit. I feel like go easy on yourself. Eat some good foods. Maybe some blueberries for some of you. Get that detoxing in. Whether it's real or not, or I guess it's detox tea that's being debunked. But what's crowning you is the moon. This is also the sign of Pisces, so that could be it. That could be the Pisces influence that's fucking up your flow right now. So, because the moon in reverse could mean it's the shadow aspects of Pisces that are messing you up. It's forcing you to go within, analyze some stuff, notice old thought patterns, change some behaviors. Mercury, the planet of communication, is also in Pisces this entire month, and it goes retrograde on March 5th through March 28th, which means communication will be wonky and kind of weird. There can also be a lot of things that just go wrong during Mercury retrograde, like you keep dropping things, get into some car accidents, be safe. Say things you don't mean, say the wrong words, you know, that kind of thing. Let me see if they have any advice for you for dealing with that energy. Feel like don't let it affect your decision-making process, and don't let it affect your career drive. Don't let it affect where you really want to go in life, if that makes sense. Also, what's standing out are these 2 dogs that are barking at the moon. This came up in another reading earlier too, and it feels like it's sort of that, to take the basic metaphor, don't be a dog barking at the moon. Kind of like don't bark at something that's so far removed that whatever you're doing isn't going to change it anyway. So, however that applies to you, it could be that if you feel like you're sort of putting energy at something and you know full well whatever it is isn't going to change, is that really doing any good? Does that help you, actually? What is that doing, I feel like, for your spiritual journey? What is that doing for you personally? What is it you're really hoping to get out of that? Because if that, sometimes you may not get it. As for what's sort of the base of the reading is death, which is not actual death. This can be a Scorpio, but it also relates to change, transformation, transition. So for some of you, it could be the vernal equinox. Again, I talk about this in my general reading for the month of March, but March 21st is the first day of spring, also known as the spring equinox. In Persian culture, it's Nowruz, the New Year, Persian New Year. And so it's the time where there's sort of that end of winter, which can mean some ending sometimes, some death, some release. Oof. Some stagnation, resistance to change. Sorry, I'm getting messages. It's almost like I'm hearing be your own clairvoyant. It's like be your own guide during this time. And it's funny because that's coming with this transformation card. But there's also little things carved, like initials carved into the side of Death's armor, by the way. So there's something about that, maybe about noticing hidden secrets, hidden signs that you see kind of all over the place. I mean, an important thing to know about your sign, too, the sign of Aquarius, is that you have the capacity to not just be in your head, but to move up to the divine and access information from there that as the water bearer, you can then bestow to other people here on Earth. So I think it's also seeing those little signs and understanding that they may tell you something about a situation and what's going on. So it could be that while you're going through the middle of some chaos, that you're paying attention to those little things, those attributes that are telling you something about the situation. I keep doing this, but it sort of will be like that. It'll be like a... And whatever it is, whatever these things represent, whatever comes up will indicate something to you. And you can always look it up and maybe tell other people, because sometimes telling other people, they'll say, oh, well, that actually means blah, blah, blah. That you might have to scroll through 20 pages on a Google search to find. It's possible. But I would say it's more about taking note of those little things. Don't discount those. So what's also in where you are right now, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, there's something related to home, work, money that isn't happening. There's a potential for a new thing, but it's not happening. So what are you supposed to do in this situation? We've got some disappointment there. So what does that mean? Let me clarify this, please. Huh. So the thing isn't happening. You've got some disappointment. So this can also mean, you got the Two of Cups here, which can mean focusing on relationships and dynamics where you have an even energy exchange, not ones that leave you feeling like, fuck that, I'm unhappy. So I think it's important to, that's really focusing on the exchanges that do make you satisfied. I feel like it may take some of you some time, though, to figure out what that looks like for you, where it feels like you have that even energy exchange. Because I feel some hesitation around this card, that there's a part of you that's like, what does that even look like? Really, though, if you're being realistic and honest with yourself. So what's interesting is what's influencing you right now is the Seven of Wands in reverse. So what, want to know what Two of Cups looks like? It looks like not this. It's not feeling defensive. It's not feeling like you have to fight for everything that you're going through. Now, in reverse, I take that as it's ending. This feeling is coming to an end, thankfully. So you won't feel like you're always dealing with an onslaught or you're always under attack. In the future, you'll be able to see how far you've come. This is about acknowledging, taking some stock and inventory of noticing how far you've come, what you've accomplished so far. This has been a big theme this month. So if you notice people practicing gratitude, that's a part of what that is. And for some reason, someone's saying, don't be a hater. Sorry. Like when people are practicing gratitude for the things that they're happy for in their life, That's a good thing. Just for some of you. Then also celebrate with your friends. Enjoy the good things in life that exist. This is really about, for some reason I'm hearing enjoying the high life for those of you that can. Because that's really about celebrating with your friends, enjoying life. I will also say keep in mind Pisces, which is what we are in, the season we are in the first half of this month, is a very expansive energy. So because of that, it doesn't have any boundaries. And drinking, no boundaries, no limitations, can happen to excess, just FYI. Your choices are your own. I'm not judging. It's up to you, but just putting that out there in case it's something that you wanted to tone down or just not overdo, that you may have to regulate yourself a little bit harder if that's the case. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's partly it's what's in the stars. So, also what you're feeling in the future is the Queen of Swords. Now, this can mean a couple things because this is your element. This is air. So it could be that you're feeling in your element. It could also be that you're feeling a little more confident in yourselves. I actually get a really good energy from this card. So I feel it's like some of you are feeling good about yourselves, where you want to go, what you want to do in your life, where you want to be. And you feel happy and confident about moving those forward. Sometimes there's a shadow aspect to the Queen of Swords where she can be a little bit bitchy and not necessarily diplomatic in how she wants to move things forward. However, I don't really feel that with you in this reading. It feels much more like you're feeling yourself, you're feeling your power, you're feeling what you're capable of, and you're ready to move things on, and you are excited. You want to put your plans into action. And you've got the Two of Wands here, which also means planning. You're willing to put in the time and effort to strategically plan which parts of the globe you want to conquer, where you want to go. And you've got the Knight of Cups, which brings in good news. He's the messenger of good news emotionally. So you've got all of that coming in after. So you've got some strife in the beginning, some going inward, some transformations, some moving out of stress, anxiety, feeling defensive, finding that happy relationship, but then seeing how far you've come and then feeling good about moving something forward in your life. So it could be some of that Aries energy, maybe later in the month, that might help. That happens around the 21st. So it'll be an interesting month. You can also, don't forget to check out my general reading for the month of March for all signs. There's some helpful info in there, especially when it comes to working with other people this month. All right, Aquarius, I hope you have a wonderful month of March, and I'll see you guys again next month.